Welcome to the Don't Die Rusty podcast. I'm Rick Hanson, and we will be talking about living, not dying. We're all in this adventure together, and we will be interviewing people who inspire us to live our best lives. People with various backgrounds who will walk us down the trails they took to not die rusty. Adventure in life are many things to many people. It could be a sprint or an endurance race, but with each adventure, we become a better version of us. We hope you keep chasing those dreams, being the best you, and of course, don't die rusty. Well, hello, Don't Die Rusty Nation. Once again, the ineptness of myself, I didn't hit record, so we've had a good conversation for about 20 minutes to a half hour. Dayna Monroe, my guest, and I, and thank you for letting me re-record this stuff because we've been having a great conversation, and now I hope we can keep it up. So tonight, my guest is Dayna Monroe, and I am going to let her introduce herself just a little bit, and I'm going to tell a little story about her, and then we will try to recap what we were just talking about. Sometimes I feel like a total dumbass.
That's okay. We've all been there. I did that once too. I work for Sig Sauer here in New Hampshire. From Utah, originally moved almost 2 years ago. So a small town Western girl, living out on the East Coast. For marketing department for Sig, and do a brand manager, and have kind of merged into more of like a media relations role in the last couple weeks. So yeah, that's me.
Well, that's cool, Dayna, because I've known you, I probably at least 6 or 7 years, and it's fun to be able to just sit down and talk to you now and let the world, my world, or the people around me know who you are. And I am going to tell them a story about you from Winter Strong that has impacted my life since that fateful day happened. And it's not really a fateful day. It it, it is so. It was an impactful day,
Yeah.
and it was a is and if your name ever comes up in conversation wherever I'm at, I tell people this story. And I think the world needs to know, if you want to know who Dayna Monroe is, I'm going to tell you a story who Dayna Monroe is from my perspective. And we were at Winter Strong. I think it was Winter Strong 2. I can't remember which one it was. And at Winter Strong, they have outdoor games. They have, like, you learn how to lift, you learn how to be, like, Laura Zero is there, and she taught us how to build a fire. I don't know. And then they were doing all kinds. You learn how to shoot better. You pistols, rifles. You do some bow stuff, and then it's all about lifting because it's Sorinex Outdoors, and it's in South Carolina. And in there's a race that happens, and what they do is they shoot a bow at a target, and then people pick teams. And I didn't run that year, and it was interesting because I was up there at the shooting range, and you guys come running in, and you had a young fella who he hadn't shot, and I don't know. It was interesting to watch because he was. I don't know if he was like very shy or if he was just nervous, but I saw Dayna take the time, and this is a race. This is they're trying to win some stuff. And I saw Dayna take the time, and this kid, I saw I saw him turn emotionally into confidence. It's amazing how you see. Like, it was kind of rain, and then the rainbow comes out because I saw a cloud of. I mean, it was just confidence built up in him. And Dayna took the time. Everybody's in a hurry. We got to get going. Got to get going. Got to get going. and you took the time to show this kid how to shoot. And I mean, it was taking time. And I about was in tears watching this thing because it was emotional in the fact that I was witnessing this, but it was emotional in the fact that I believe in people taking time to help people. And the more we help the people, the more we help the world become a better place. And that day I witnessed it right in front of me. You, you are a special person. And I tell people that because of this.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That I mean that was also, very impactful for me. Like not in the moment. Looking back and like reflecting on it, it is. But that was like one of the first times I realized like people really are watching. And that was very impactful for me because people are always paying attention when, there's lights and cameras and someone has a camera out, people are always on, but no one's realizing who is watching, um, when there's no cameras or there's no famous people or stakes involved, like, no high stakes involved. Um, and it's you really find out the true nature of a person when you see how they treat others when there's no benefit for them. Like there was that competition. I'm a very very competitive person. I remember I remember everything about that event. I was scared to even go into the pool for getting picked because I didn't want to get picked last, and I was nervous about getting picked last. Like I like the my confidence level from like who I am today from when I was, competing in this event however many years ago is just like is night and day. But I was scared to even go into the pool to compete, and then here I am on a team, and I had the most incredible team. I adore every single one of those people, and we all like we really were a team. And this kid, I think he was like 15, never shot a gun before, and he steps up in this competition to shoot a rifle, and I was like, wait, like maybe we should have somebody who knows what they're doing do this. But he stepped up to do it, and so I was like, okay, like he's gonna do this, and I'm gonna help him. Like we're gonna do this together.
And it was like 200-yard targets. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
You, you know, and it was the most in watching you be patient and watching you. I mean, your team was patient too, but to watch you do what bring this smile, like when you took off running, and then the smile on that kid's face, and then when, but to watch it, sometimes you get to watch something from that 30,000 feet, kind of thing, and to watch a transformation happen is amazing. It brought faith to me, like I said, in this world that we can be good and we can do things in a good manner. And I know it was funny because you guys took off and I watched a few other people, but I knew when you guys finished, the one thing I wanted to do, I don't know if I told you that night or if I told you that morning, but I was going to make a point to tell you what you did because you needed to know it, because I think people need to know how they're impacting the world. I wish more people would tell people you've impacted me, or I saw how you impacted somebody else, because I think that brings good things. And that's now the world knows, because now we have it on, it's recorded. But when I talk about you in any sense, if I'm around anybody and your name would come up or anything, that story comes up because I want people to know who you are.
yeah, yeah, and that means a lot. It means a lot.
And like I said, we're friends. I mean, we have don't do a lot together, but I mean, at least we talk to each other when we see each other, that kind of stuff. So it's not like we're best buddies, and I'm trying to build you up. I'm telling you, I think that this is something that people need to see. I'm going to build anybody up, but I'm just saying that that was a very impactful moment for me. I know it was a very impactful moment for that kid, and I don't know about your team because I didn't know many of the other ones on that team, but it was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
You you are amazing in that aspect, and for not be and the other amazing part about this is you hadn't shot a lot of rifles.
No, no. I was brand new. Like, I mean, not brand new, but I was not a gun person at this time. Yeah. So I even teach him that it worked out.
Well, it did work out, and I think it was also because of your archery background too. We learn patience, and we learn how to shoot our bows and breathe and shoot and roughly. I mean, not that they're similar but different. You
Yeah.
don't have to pull back the bow, but it was just so fun to watch. And then it's funny that you didn't hadn't shot a lot, and now you have just won the tactical division in the
Yeah.
tactical games.
Yep. So there's a couple different divisions. There's like an elite division, but that's like that that's a little too extreme for me. So I do the tactical division, which is the next one down, and I won.
Well, I love hearing that. How did you get into that?
So when I started working at SIG, I was brand new, and some of the people they reached out. They're like, "Hey, we hear you're kind of into fitness. Do you want to come join the tactical games team that SIG is putting on?" And I told them I was like, "This sounds great. Like, I don't have any of the stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't shoot competitively. I know how to use a gun, but I was not competent with a firearm versus like a bow. Like, I give me a bow, I could do tactical games with a bow, no problem. Uh, but a pistol and like a carbine rifle were a different story, and they told us, they were like, "Hey, we'll help you. Get like your kit together, get outfitted with everything you need." Obviously, I work at the company that we use all the firearms, ammo, optics, everything like that. So I was able to, to get outfitted with all the necessary like tools to go and compete. Um, but it was probably one of the most nerve wracking things that I've done. Well, not in the last couple of years. I moved across the country, but it's it was it was difficult because I had to, kind of take a step back and be a beginner again. Um, and that's never easy. I'm not good at like being bad at things. And I think that's why I dive in head first whenever I get into like a new hobby or something that I enjoy, because I don't like being bad at things, and I struggle with that. And I was very bad at this. Like, I'm really good at like, fitness and working out, and I was decent at shooting, but then putting those two modalities together was a disaster. Like, it was trying to shoot when you go do a CrossFit workout and then shoot a bullseye at like a 2-inch triangle at 5 yards, and you'd be lucky if you hit one. Like, it's it's very hard, but it's so much fun. It's some of the most fun I've had in years. I'm hooked on the experience, that community, everything. I love it.
Well, and then to look at your post, my gosh, you're beaten and bruised and battered and beat the heck out of yourself and still
Yeah,
shooting things.
yeah. I leave it all out there. I
But
like what
yeah,
like
that go ahead.
get it done. And I can kind of feel that I'm like, getting a bruise in a certain spot or like bruising myself up, and I was like, I gotta go. I can stop when I'm done.
I love hearing that. That's awesome because, I mean, I love that we have the competitiveness, but we also, like I said, you took the patience with that kid, but I love seeing you succeed.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And and the other thing you know, I mean, I watch what you're doing, and you might not think it. I don't know if you do or know it, but if people are watching you, I see a lot of other females out there trying to do things, but I think, with me personally, this is me, but I look at you as more of a empowering women than a lot of the other people I follow because you're, you're not, you're not growing up, shooting your uh, guns, and then you have just won the tactical. It's fun how to watch you move up and keep on competing and getting better, and showing women that they can do whatever they put their mind to. I'm good friends with Ashley Kurtenbach, and she's roughly the same as me and same as you in that aspect of. I mean, you've been at TAC. We don't let Ashley shoot any closer. She has to shoot with the boys, and that's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we're good friends because she's just like I just a sister or whatever because we don't give her any slack. And that's what I see from you is showing women that they can do whatever they put their mind to if they do put their mind to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes me so happy. I try. I always try to be, kind of like a positive light in everyone's lives. And I want to be like I want to be an example, if young girls are watching me and seeing what I'm doing in life, like that would mean the world to me because I never imagined that I would be where I'm at in life. Like I grew up in a small town, like, people don't get out of my town. Like they stay in the area. And which is great. Like I'm not saying that there's anything negative about that. Um, but they go to college, they get married, they move back, they have their family, and they raise their family, in my hometown, and that's a beautiful thing. That never I'm not married, I don't have kids, so like that didn't happen for me. Hopefully it does someday. um but it's led me to to kind of venture into this whole world that I never really knew existed and I never knew that I could venture into. Like, these there are certain opportunities and certain doors that have opened for me, just by saying yes to certain things and being like the person that I am and connecting with others and being a genuine person. I think people see that and they understand that um, I'm not trying to be their friend for any negative reasons. I genuinely want to be friends with people and I want what's best for them. And especially females. I've coming from where I did grow up, I saw a lot of very negative female relationships and had a lot of very like negative female relationships growing up, like playing sports. Um, I mean, some of the girls I played sports with were some of the meanest girls that I've ever. Um, and that kind of like had me very jaded when it came to women, just because of what I had experienced, through like high school. Um, but then I got into the real world, and I have my girl gang now that I've kind of just like gathered over the last couple of years, and we're all over the country. Like I have friends. I mean, some of my best friends are in Georgia, Virginia Beach, California, Idaho, all over. So they're all just kind of sprinkled around the country. But I know if I, if I really need something or just need a little pick me up, I can reach out to any of these girls and they want me to win. Like, we're not in competition with each other. And I think that's one of the biggest things is like, especially being a female, you're kind of taught at a young age that you have to compete with other girls for attention, for boys, for anything like that. And that's not what I'm about. I want to lift others up and show them like their potential, because I've had that from my friends and some of my like adult female friends. Like, they've believed in me and given me the confidence to get to where I'm at. And if I can kind of like be that for someone else, like, I want someone else to realize their potential. Because sometimes, like, when you're looking in the mirror, you're like, oh, I can't do that. I can't lift that much weight. I can't go do like this workout or go shoot this gun, or I can't shoot as far as this guy can. And it's like, yes, you can. Like, you are fully capable if you set your mind to it and you put the effort into doing something. You can do whatever you want to do.
And that's why you're on this podcast too, because Don't Die Rusty is about chasing their dreams, being the best you, living
Yeah.
your best life. And you are setting that example because I like hearing that stuff. That I like. We try to lift people up, and I see you lifting people up on your social media, and that is the best thing in the world to watch and know that. I mean, I've talked about you earlier, but to see the good things that you're doing, and to see the other thing I like seeing is like in the you keep on doing so many things that are different.
Yeah.
Like you're I like I mean we talked we talked about this before we were recording, and but I like that we aren't labeling ourselves. First of all, you are authentic. That's what I hope people think of me, because you only get Rick. I'm not labeled. Like I people when I was telling people I was going to start a podcast, they thought it was all going to be hunting. I don't ever want to put myself in the label and only be in the box. I want to be outside the box. And you're outside the box too, because you do so many different things. I mean, I I would like to have as many airline points as you have to have, because you're all over the country.
Yes.
Because I love seeing you go on your adventures, and we were talking earlier, like when you start saying yes to things and changing that perspective of not being afraid to go do things, that's empowering women too. Because how many, and you're empowering other people, like if you say yes and go on an adventure and you have a good time, that is the most wonderful thing in the world.
Yeah.
And now that other people, if I'm like the people that might follow us that go follow you, and they say Dayna is empowering us because look at what she's doing. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere. I mean, and then you're shooting. You could be shooting this week. You're at a beach next week. You're shooting your bow this week, and you're whatever else you're doing next week, and you might be a wedding there, or you know what I mean. You're all over the country, and I love seeing that because I love seeing people living their best life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the goal. Like, um, I did like a little Q&A thing on my Instagram the other day. And one of my friends from California, her question was like, how do you stay motivated? And I was like, wow, like that's a big question. And I was like, well, I'm not motivated a lot of the time. Like, it's just what I have to do to like, like, I'm not married. I don't have anyone to rely on. Like, I rely on myself. And I have to do certain things in order to, make a paycheck and be able to pay my rent. And um, I've really been intentional with my life to build and like say yes to things that I want to do. And there's a bunch of things that I have to do, in order to get to do the things that I want to do. And I've just been, building more and more to be able to do more that I want to do, um, and try and incorporate the things that I love doing into my career. Like my job now, like it's something I love doing. I get to interact with people. I get to see people at shows. I get to, talk to people and meet new people. And it's like, if I can have a job that I love, that's the best of both worlds. Because then, when I'm out of the office, going and having fun, like I'm enjoying my life. And then, if I'm in the office doing something that I love, then how can you be mad about that? And that's what life is about for me. Like I want to build it to what I want it to be, not what anyone else thinks it should be for me. It's what I want it to be.
And you're winning. And that's the cool thing. Because, I mean, to watch you grow in the industry, you are focused. You are, uh, it's funny, like you say, you go to shows, but you, you are a focused person at a show too. I mean, I understand people come and chat with you, but you make sure that everything is right. You know what you know what I mean? When you're in the booth, you're in the booth, and yet, you know, you have your people that will come and chat with you because they know you. But I see it's interesting because you can have fun doing that, and you can also, well, there's a potential customer, and I'll talk to you in a bit, but I'm going to go do this now. You know what I mean? And it's so fun to see how you've been focused and that you keep moving forward in your career and you keep chasing the dreams, and you are that way because there are many people that don't, that are scared, that say, you know what if, well, here's the deal, if you don't go do it, you'd never know what if.
Yeah.
you know you can't, I look at it as, I mean, I do a lot of stuff because I want to, and I've talked about this many times. I'll ask a person to go do something maybe once, and then you may forget the second time. I don't ask the third time, and I'm still going
Yeah.
because it's my life, and I want to do some. I want to go on that adventure. I'm going to go on that adventure,
Yeah.
and I like seeing that in you, and how you go chasing your dreams all over the country. And I mean, heck, I see you were at UFC. You got to stand on the in the ring.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Dustin Poirier or no, Gaethje?
Yeah. No.
Wasn't it
So,
Gaethje?
uh, it was Kamaru. Kamaru Usman was the main card for that one.
Yeah, but you were in the ring with Gaethje, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. So I
Y- y-
for many years. I first met him that back to my Kafaru days. Back before he was the superstar that he is. Like I met him. Um, Luke Cadillo, who's a very dear friend, incredible person himself. Worked very closely with Kafaru and kind of brought Justin into that world. And he's one of Justin's coaches. And I've been, very close with Luke throughout the years and just kind of known Justin. And then spent more time with Justin last summer. We did this big ARC invitational for SIG. And Justin and Luke were on my team. And so we spent a couple days together. And then I I wanted to go. So I met Kamaru at in Denver. So Justin trains at this gym, and Kamaru trains there as well. And he was there for training camp, and I went to go check out the facility, visit Luke and Justin, and just say hi when I was in Denver. and Kamaru just happened to be training him and Trevor, his coach. And so I stopped by to say hi and met him. Um, and then I was like, hey, I found out the fights were in Atlanta. I had no idea that they were there.
Yeah.
Some of my very best friends live in Atlanta. And so I texted them, was like, hey guys, I want to come down for the fights. Like, let's do this. And so we made it all happen. And it was such an incredible experience. It's just people that I know and, other good people that I, have met along the way. And, and it's kind of like there are a lot of pinch me moments in my life. And it was really cool to experience that and just be in that atmosphere. And like it's cool to me because things I used, like people and things that I used to just see on TV, like I'm experiencing, and that's like that's incredible. I like I can't believe that this is my life. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, that's the deal. People ask me, how do you get lucky to meet certain people, And I said, well, you know what? I'm there for one thing,
Yeah.
and I'm not afraid to talk to people on the other. And I hope that people look at, I mean, we were talking earlier about being authentic. Like I said, you get Rick, you get Dana. This is who we are. I'm not asking you for anything. I just am trying to be your friend too. I mean, if you want to be my friend, this is who you get. I'm not asking for anything. And that's how I've just ran into people and been places and seen things, and it's just like it just happens. But I think the other part about that, of you meeting people and I meeting people, is we do say yes. We do want to plan it. And you said, I like how you say you were in Denver. You said it's the fight's in Atlanta. Let's do this. And and how many people do that though? They So many people are afraid, like, you know, well, we got to travel, and what's going to happen here, and what's going to do, we might get a hangnail and we won't be able to go. I'm just, but it,
Yeah. Yeah, they
but
look at reasons that they can't, and they make excuses. Um I've seen a lot of people in my life who, like, if they want to do something, they make it happen. They figure out a way to make it happen. Like, you say you don't have time for something, like, look at your day. Like, what can you cut out in your day to make time for something? And it's like, it's all about where you set your priorities. And it's like, if your priorities are family and being home and, rocking the family life, like, that's awesome. Like, but whatever you prioritize, like, just do it well. Like, just set your priorities and know your priorities, and, like, sit with yourself and figure out what those are. And, me, like, I'm single. I don't have a family. I don't have pets. Like, I travel too much to have pets. So it's like, I want to go and do things, and I want to experience things. And if an opportunity presents itself, I am going all in, because when am I going to get the opportunity again? Like, and too many people, like, oh no, I can't do that because of this, when it takes more work and it takes more effort. But do you want to miss out on this epic opportunity, or do you want to sit and hum and haw and be sad about your life?
exactly. And here's the funny thing, folks, because I'm going to tell you something, Dana. To do this podcast tonight episode, we had to do it after Dana got done working out, which is, you are setting your priorities, but you're still doing this. So thank you. But like, I get up at 4:45 every morning, 4:45 every morning, and I go for my walk. It's about 3 or 4 miles. But I make that a priority. You have, but here's the deal. I mean, people call it self-discipline, or, and right now it's not self-discipline because I enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? It's 4:45 rolls around. I always feel like getting out of bed because it's like the world unwraps in front of you, and watch when you watch a sunrise. And that's our priorities.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do things like, If I want to go on some big adventure, I save the money. I you might have to sacrifice some things to go do other things. I mean, and I laugh because people ask me, how do you get to go on a hunting trip? How do you get to go here? How do you get to do this? Why do you do that? Well, both of us are in the same boat, some similar, because I have stepkids, but I don't have any personal kids of myself. So, and I'm I just get to go do things, but I make them priorities. If I want to go on a hunting trip, that's where I'm going to go. If I'm going to go on another trip or whatever, if I want if I want a new bow, if I want a new pistol, that or whatever, I make it a priority and I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't go to the bar and spend $100 on beer and cigarettes or whatever, or I if that's your priority, then that's fine. But I want to go live life, and I want. There's one thing that you can never take away from you or I because of our adventures, and that's because we all will always have our memories.
Yeah.
You can always make money, but I love seeing you being young because this is the biggest thing I tell young people is go chase these dreams and go do these things while you can because you never know when you can't.
Hmm.
Tomorrow is never given to us. So live today, make friends and have those close ones and go on adventures and make those memories. And I love seeing you do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you know I I'm a completely different person, like now from where I was, 5, even 10 years ago. And I think a lot of people don't go and do things out of fear. I know I was scared to go do so many things. Like I couldn't even go to like the grocery store by myself when I was younger. Like it took a long time to be able to like go grocery shopping by myself, or go to the gym by myself, or go into the weight section of the gym by myself. Like, but it's if you never challenge yourself, like you're just going to stay where you are. And if you're not happy with where you are, like then that sucks. Like who wants to live a life that sucks? Like if you're not happy, like yeah, it's going to be hard to change it, but like pick your heart. Do you want to suffer through something that you don't like for the rest of your life? Or do you want to challenge yourself and step out of your comfort zone? And that's I understand how hard that could be. Like that's not me just saying that. Like I picked up and moved my life across the country. Like that was terrifying, but also like I knew like deep down like that was the next step in my life. Like I had no reservations because it was like, okay, this is where life is taking me right now. I never could have imagined being here. Like never ever ever I didn't even know where New Hampshire was. I had to look it up on a map. And but and it's you know people have asked me, like even people up here, um, like they don't really get outside of New England. Like some people have never even been outside of New England, and that's amazing to me. Like I want to get out and I want to see the places and I want to go experience the areas that I've never been. Like I want to go be immersed in the culture and the community, and I want to see places and make friends with people and just go have adventures. Like that's what life's about. Like I don't want to punch a time clock at the office and hate my life, and I want to enjoy it.
Well, I hear you there because, I mean, you said earlier, like you get to go on your adventures and then uh, you get to live, have a job you love. How many people really get to do that? I mean, it's a rare thing in this day and age, and I love that you get to do that. And but how was it? It's interesting. How was it coming from? Utah to move to the East Coast. I mean, the different people, life. How was that? How was that a change?
In every single aspect of life. It's like polar opposite. It's I come from, Utah, that like the high desert. There's no water in Utah. Um, there's a bunch of land like you can see. There's no trees. You can see miles and miles. There's not that many people. People are spread out, and out here on the East Coast, like everybody lives on top of each other. Everybody is condensed in this small landmass because it's such a small area. Like there's multiple. I can be in three different states in 15 minutes, and that's unheard of because like you can drive from one side to the other in like 8 hours. Like it's significant. And I mean, the people are just like go, go, go. Like it's almost like a heightened sense of urgency out here, and people don't just like enjoy life. But you also have like a very different type of person here. You have a lot of like celebrities and old money and very, very wealthy people, which like you don't have in my hometown. Like I'm not used to that kind of wealth too. Um, but there's lakes everywhere, there's water everywhere, there's ticks everywhere. One of my biggest fear ever, but it's completely different. Everything is so small. There's my boss here will say, he's like, there's a lot of nothing, but there's a little of everything. So there's like, you can fish, you can hunt, you can hike the hills here. Just there's
Yeah.
small mountains. Um, but there's a lot of like little things you can do, but there's just so many people. Like I went hiking the other day, and there were hundreds of people in this area because there's not that many places to go, so everybody kind of goes to the same spots to get outside and get outdoors and enjoy, the sunshine up here.
Huh. I mean, because it's funny. It in May, and I live in the Black Hills and Spearfish, and it's funny because we're normally not humid, and we've been having rain and rain and rain. And I said, if I wanted to live in humidity, I would move there. And, I I and I saw my first mosquito the other day, and I'm not, we don't have mosquitoes here really in Spearfish. And for me, anyway, I haven't seen many, and they're starting to come out in the evenings. And my morning walks, I never see really anything, but it's just crazy because I, I can't, I can't imagine. Oh, I can, but you know, my best part of going to Denver, we'll just say a big city,
Yeah.
was getting to Cheyenne and heading north.
Yeah.
Because, but I think you need to go to these places and see them and experience these places like you're getting to experience it. And then you know how other people live. People don't, like you said, some people have never left New England, and I know some people that have probably never left South Dakota. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe cross the border in North Dakota or Minnesota, but or wherever, but they don't hardly ever leave South Dakota. And it kind of makes me sad because people think that they can look at the internet and they can be there, and you can't, because you can't smell the smells, you can't see the people, you can't do the things. Like, I've never been to New York, and maybe someday I will, but I'm not interested at the moment. But I do want to go places. I do see places. I mean, I've been places and I go places because that's who I am. And if I get something like, it's funny because I'm really seriously thinking about going to the Tour de France next year.
Ooh.
or or I have my friend Emily Hoggood, she's runs the UTMB World at Chamonix, and I'm thinking about it's either the Tour de France or Chamonix to watch the UTMB. And but I like to. I want to say I want to experience it. I want to experience because I've always liked the Tour de France, but I'm not a professional bike rider by any means, and I'd rather hike than bike because I have to watch where I'm going, and I don't like to wreck. But
Same.
I think everybody should see different cultures, and they should see different sporting events or different events that they may never ever see, like running the bulls or whatever. But I want to see the Tour de France, and I think if people dream about these things but they don't do them, well, you know what? That's one that it just might happen in the near future.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes to your point a little, what you said earlier is like people put themselves in this box. And I did for a long time, like early in my career, like in the outdoor industry, like I put myself in this box and I was like, oh, I can't go do girly things because then people aren't going to take me seriously in the hunting industry. Like, and I didn't do so many things because I thought people wouldn't take me seriously. And now I'm at a point I'm like I can go get dressed up. Like there's a fundraiser like in Nashville that I've gone to the last couple of years. I have somebody do my makeup and my hair because I don't know how to do that. And I get all dolled up and it's so much fun, but I do it once a year. And I'm like, it's not my everyday thing, but I have so much fun with it. And I've been experiencing all of these other kind of industries and experiences, and I never would have done that before because I was scared, that people wouldn't take me seriously if I got outside of this little box. But like I put myself in that box because of like what other people would think. And now I'm realizing that you can be all the things want to be. You don't have to be I don't have to be just a bow hunter. I don't have to be whatever my job is. Like I am me and I can do all of these things, and all of those things like make up who I am. Not I don't it's been like a struggle, from experience to experience, all of the roller coaster that has been my life the last few years. Um but it's the identity, it's what you identify with. And if your identity is in your job and you no longer have that job, then that's a really tough time, and you put your value into that. And then once you like if you retire or you move on to another place, like it's a real struggle. And I think I've done that so much, but it's also like I put everything into what I do because I believe in it. And I typically, like the last few positions that I've had, like it fits so naturally within my life because I live it. Like I'm doing like what I am passionate about, so it just naturally falls into like my everyday and into my life. So it's been hard to kind of like have that separation. Um, but even that's like, an ongoing battle with learning to kind of separate who I am professionally from who I actually am.
And it's funny that you know, I was like all my vacation time, maybe 2 days would go to hunting because I thought that's what I needed to be. That's who people saw me as.
Yeah.
And I thought, and and you do that for so long. I started getting questions in my head like, how much, how many tags do you need? And how many animals do you need to kill? And how much do you need? Because in the end, it's for you, And in the end, it's people, and you can agree or disagree with me here, but in the end, you learn it's not so much everything else, it's the person you are, and it's the relationships you have that get you where you're at.
Yes.
And that's why I thought, you know what? I mean, I love hunting, but you know what? If I could, I would have a memory of the Tour de France. We'll just say, or whatever, you know. And I started thinking, I don't know if it was burnout or what it is, but it was just like I want to go do the other things too.
Yeah.
And and that's what I love. I love that you're doing that too. You know, you're not just like I said. We're both being outside the box here, and not being labeled. And but you can, both of us, or for sure you, can still inspire people to be the best them by watching what you are doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope I am. It's it's definitely like, I've seen a lot of people, they and that kind of goes into the identity. Like they're like, oh, I have to spend all of my time hunting because, people, I don't know, for whatever, like someone else's perception of them. And so like they're putting in all of this effort, and I did that for a long time. Like I was like, I can't be in the hunting industry and not be like, killing animals, regularly, getting it done. Like, and so I kind of put my value in that. And so I
Mhm.
struggled for a lot of years. And I think I a little bit of burnout. Like I got to a point where I was like, I'm not enjoying this because my mindset wasn't in the correct place. I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. And I wasn't doing it for negative reasons, but I was doing it to help um others' perception of me, I guess. Like I wasn't doing it for the love of hunting. And it's been more enjoyable to get out there like the last couple years because I I used all of my time off in my early, like, going on hunts. Like I didn't see my family for like years. When I lived in Denver, I saw my family once a year, if that. And and that was really tough for a number of reasons. But I put so much emphasis into being like a good hunter. And then like now I'm like, oh, I can do other things and I enjoy other things. Like I don't want to just all of my focus go in one place and lose out on all of these other fun experiences that I could be having.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you 100% because I just, and there's life to live because, you know, I had a full time job and I was still hunting 60, 70 days a year. And, it was every weekend, every chance I got, I was gone. And it's not good for relationships either when you're trying to maybe make something, be something. I don't know what I was trying to be, but it's not. But I loved it at the time, I thought. But now it's so nice to dream about other things. Not
Yeah.
that I still don't dream about big elk and big deer and maybe someday a sheep,
Yeah.
but it's so fun to be able to say, well, you know what? I might go there. I might do this. Um, let's go. And it's just one of those deals that I wish, I hope more people start realizing it's about the relationships, and you don't have to go. I mean, I'm all in with whatever I do too, but I guess I'm all in on having all the adventures all over the world now, or wherever that they are.
Yeah.
And anyway, what's in the future for Dana Monroe?
Um, that's a great question. I've got a fun trip this weekend. It's my birthday next week, so I'm going out and spending a few days with some friends. I'm joining a friend on a hunt at the end of this month in British Columbia, so that's going to be really exciting. I don't get a hunt, but I get to be the little
Ooh,
tag. But that's another thing, another like bucket list thing. Like, how can I pass up on this opportunity? It's just too great. Um, and then yeah, I've got a couple hunts for myself this year. Hopefully, I'm gonna go to another UFC fight in a few weeks, month and a
that's
half. You know?
you're
Those,
killing me. You're killing me.
yeah, yeah. Um, and then other than that, I don't know. It's usually stuff just kind of comes up, and I throw it on my calendar and say, "Let's do it."
That is awesome. You are you did draw Montana again, I saw,
Yeah,
and that makes me mad because you probably took my tag away. And no, I'm just kidding. Because I didn't draw Montana, and I love Montana.
yeah,
And just I don't know what it is about Montana, but I just love Montana.
yeah,
And and it's just a skip from me, so that's awesome. Uh, but I love hearing all the stuff you're doing and enjoying the life that you're living.
yeah. Thank
So, and since I probably have talked to you for an hour and a half, even though it's been only an hour because of my stupidity of not hitting record, but in the end of every Don't Die Rusty episodes, we ask one final question. So I'll let you get to sleep since it's going to be 10 o'clock there. Um, but what's the good life to Dayna Monroe?
It's exactly what I'm doing. It's saying yes to new experiences, meeting new people, going to new places, and being able to do things that I never thought I would be able to do that just bring joy to my life. And it's amazing. I'm doing it.
Well, that is awesome. And the other thing is, I was really, how many, I think it's been like maybe 2 months I've been trying to talk to you, and because I've been looking forward to this conversation for so long, because I wanted to tell you the story about you and the kid, and I appreciate you coming on here with me, Dayna, and I truly appreciate it, and I think you are a light in this world that people need to really follow, and you do make this world a better place, and you do help. I do think you empower women if they look, and I like how you say it, like, people need to just stop stabbing people in the back, and just cheer people on.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And thank you. Thank you so much. That means
You're well, you are welcome. So anyway, don't die rusty, fans. Keep chasing your dreams, being the best you, and don't die rusty. Thank you so much, Dayna.
thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Don't Die Rusty podcast with your hosts, Rick Hanson and Ricky Bruley. The Don't Die Rusty podcast is written and produced by Rick Hanson and Ricky Bruley. You can find us on Instagram and on Facebook at Don't Die Rusty. You can rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You might find your review read on a future episode. Got a question for the Ricks? Send us an email at don'tdierusty@gmail.com. It too could be featured on a future episode. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Don't Die Rusty podcast wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.